Good evening, Patriots. My name is Robert Patrick Lewis, and I am coming to you again as one of the co-founding members of First Amendment Praetorian. If you don't know what that is, please go to my YouTube channel under Robert Patrick Lewis, and you can see some of the calls that I've made over the past several weeks. The first was asking for volunteers from the military, law enforcement, and intelligence communities, and the following were for crowdfunding, as our entire movement is a crowdfunding movement. If you don't know what we are, we're a team of military, law enforcement, and intelligence industry vets, and we were asked to help provide security for the Walkaway campaign's Unsilent Majority March on Washington, and it just happened this past week. So I'm giving you a little bit of an update if you haven't been following the calls or my social media or anything like that. It went very well. Thankfully, first off, thank you to all of you who did donate to that. I know a lot of people were unsure. The only reason I'm not choosing to stay anonymous in the group like the rest of our team was because I knew that there had to be a face to the movement. I knew people would be really unsure about just giving money to anonymous people who said they were from these communities that they are. So I chose to dox myself to go out and help kind of provide a little bit of comfort. I know a lot of you still were unsure about that because, I mean, obviously, how many wackos are out there asking for money these days? But to those of you who did, who took the leap, who offered myself and my team a little bit of trust, thank you. I provided some tweets on Twitter over the weekend, but we were very busy. I mean, from the day that I landed until the moment I got on the plane, it was nonstop. We had a lot of stuff to go and do, a lot of stuff to provide. We found intelligence about 2 weeks ago that 3 different groups were traveling from Seattle and Portland to try to cause harm and destruction to this event and try to rain on this parade. So we knew what we were looking for. Thankfully, we have, again, a lot of people from the military, law enforcement, both federal and local, and the intelligence agencies who are on our team, and we knew how to gather accurate and good intelligence. We knew what to expect. We knew how to respond. I put out a warning on my Twitter to anybody who had planned on traveling and anybody who attended this event that we would have cameras everywhere, or that we did have cameras everywhere, and if they were caught on camera doing anything illegal, they would be handed off in a nice little package to federal law enforcement, as we have a lot of federal law enforcement veterans on our team. So that's actually happening right now. We had cameras, I wasn't lying, we had cameras everywhere. Conscious Abe is one of our team members, and he did some live streaming at the event. He did an episode tonight. You can go check out his YouTube, and he played some of the clips. I believe it was on Fox News as well, some of the professional agitators who showed up and tried to ruin this event. But I don't think they really quite understood who my team is comprised of. We are, again, a lot of people who've been doing this for a very long time, and I don't think they realized how outmatched they were. We were on them pretty quickly. We were identifying most of their spotters, even some of their organizers, as soon as they arrived. We actually had our own people that were doing what we call low visibility operations. They were dressed exactly like Antifa and BLM typically do, and walking throughout the crowd and walking around in the streets. And some of the crowd members, they blended in so well, or they made themselves try to look like Antifa so well, that we had members of the audience grabbing our attention as security team members to let us know that they thought there was Antifa in the crowd, and we'd smile and give them a wink and say, no, that's ours. But we identified a healthy amount. Right now we're throwing it through our facial recognition program. We have a database of tens of thousands of verified Antifa professional agitators. And we're throwing the facial recognition against that database right now. So I'm going to tell you, if you are the type of person who goes to these events just to try and ruin other people's day. We saw the mainstream media calling this a white supremacist group walk away, and Brandon Strzok, being the wonderful and funny guy that he was, he showed the lineup. If you don't understand why that's so funny, please take a moment and go look at the lineup for who spoke this weekend at the Walkaway campaign's Unsilent Majority March on Washington, and you will realize just what a joke anybody in the media is who would even try to say that. It was a wonderful event. We received more credible intelligence on Thursday that Katie Hopkins was sparking a lot of interest in all of the right agitator and radical groups. And so we clamped down pretty hard. And I've got to say, it was wonderful hearing her speak. She is brilliant and hilarious. And I enjoyed it, even though I was, working. I could still listen in. And she was wonderful. But again, to those of you who did donate to our crowdfunding campaign, you helped us buy body cameras. You helped pay for other cameras that we're not going to talk about. You helped us get some of our guys and girls there. We have men and women from around the country, and it really helps. My thought for crowdfunding was that, number one, it's men and women who've already taken an oath to defend this nation. Once again, forming a contract with you and working for you, the American people, those of you who are helping pay for our team members to get out to these events. You help pay for our travel, not just to get there, but also out and about. We have a large team, both at the event and off-site, doing intelligence and OSINT, and going through everything that we're collecting while we're going. But for those people that were there, we had to have people on site 24 hours a day from the moment the equipment went up. So it's a lot of travel. Just getting everybody there and fed. We spent $500 on snacks just because we have such a large team. And when you're on site at 4 o'clock in the morning, there's no hot breakfast for you. We're not the military anymore, so we don't have, cases of MREs, and we wanted to treat our men and women a little bit better than that. So thank you. You helped pay for that. You helped pay for self-defense tools, and I'll just leave it at that. You helped pay for gas masks just in case any OC spray went out. It did. Actually, one of the Portland professional agitators who traveled to DC for this event got pepper sprayed. Thankfully, none of our people, they were backed up a little bit, helped keep the crowd back while the police did their work. From what I'm being told, somebody tried to attack the police, and they were actually put in jail. And the police actually came to us because they knew we all had body cameras on to help them out with some of the footage of what happened. You helped pay for laser reflective glasses. One of the things that really bothers me is that we know there's several federal law enforcement agents who are permanently blind because these professional agitators and subversives and Marxists in Seattle and Portland were using high-end military-grade lasers to blind them. Well, we found some glasses that reflect all of the lasers that you can hold in your hand. They're made of stuff that's typically made for people that work in a hospital setting that use lasers every day, but they've turned them into tactical glasses. We had a hard time finding them because the federal law enforcement has also found out about them, and they've been placing some very large orders, but thankfully all the feds got theirs in before we did, so hopefully that tactic is going to become worthless very soon. You helped us pay for liability insurance. You helped us pay for so many different things that actually, you helped pay for these shirts, right? So I didn't just want, the typical standard security shirts. So you helped us pay for that. You helped us pay for at least 2 for our people because we were there for 4 days. So, I'm used to being in Afghanistan and Iraq where you wear the same clothes for a month, especially Afghanistan, before you can wash them. I didn't want us to have to go through that. There were guests who took time out of their life to be there, and I didn't want them to have to smell us after, doing laps and walking around and doing all that we were doing for a couple of days. You could get a little ripe, so you bought enough for everybody that was on site to have 2 pairs of shirts. Thank you. You made this happen. We had our men and women who stepped up and decided that they weren't just going to sit back anymore and allow this to happen. We all believe that the First Amendment is the first for a reason. It's what separates us as Americans. It's our freedom of speech, our freedom of assembly, our freedom of religion, of political affiliation. That is what makes us so different from, as I've said in one of my previous videos, the UK and Australia and New Zealand, where people are being arrested for simply saying something that goes against the government mandate. And we know they're trying that here. The media can lie about it as much as they want, but anybody who's been paying attention knows that that's one of their goals at some point, is to silence us in every single way that they can. So again, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you. The website, the landing page is up, 1apraetorian.com. Again, 1 is in the number 1, A is in Alpha, Praetorian as in the Praetorian Guard. That's our name. You can go to the website. Landing page is up. We have our several team members that are working on building it out and putting in quite a few different things. We're going to begin sharing intelligence to you, the people. One of the things that we're doing is, our point here is to make events safe again, all Americans. So we're offering our services. We've been asked by Walkaway to do some more of their events, but we're also going to try to spread out. I've been in contact with other patriotic event organizers, and I think we'll believe offering our services, whether it's physical security or merely the intelligence before, during, and after the event. Because of a lot of the technology that you who donated helped us buy, we can do a lot of things that I'm not going to give away, but let's just say we can really rain on people's parade without even having to be on site. And that's, again, one of the things that we're doing with our database right now, and having so many federal law enforcement veterans in our ranks. We have a lot of contacts with the right people for us, the wrong people for anybody who doesn't want to spend the rest of their life in federal prison. But our whole point is to make events safe again, to allow Americans to feel safe and secure going out and having a peaceful, and by saying peaceful rally, I mean actually peaceful, as in nothing gets burned or looted or destroyed, nobody gets hurt. We want to make people feel comfortable doing that again, because once again, each of us believes that is one of the quintessential American values and rights, is the ability to say what we think, say what we feel, go out and show that, whether it be wearing or holding a President Trump sign, or some kind of religious group having a meeting, whatever it might be. Just, we truly and strongly believe in that, to the point that although we had already taken our oath and served our time in uniform, whether it was military, law enforcement, or intelligence, we all were so sick of it that we stepped up again. Each of us believes that our oath, it doesn't expire. That truly is. Until the day that we die, we will defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. And unfortunately, the last part is the part that we never thought we'd have to stand up for. But it's become very apparent over the last 6 months that we do. And people in both the media and politics want to stop that. And we're going to keep going until our last breath. So again, to those of you who donated, I want to say thank you. Furthermore, we are continuing along. Thankfully, we raised enough, and raised about $20,000. I showed some basic pictures during the event. You can go to my Twitter handle at Robert P. Lewis and have a look at some of it, but I didn't want to show everything. Again, there are some technology solutions that we have that we don't really want the bad guys to know exactly what they are, because they might be able to find ways to work around them. But it is significant. I would just say that. Maybe at some point when this is all over, I'll be able to show you everything. I have been promising financial transparency. I will. We're going to be posting exactly what we spent, what we raised, and what we spent. I'm not going to give specific names because, again, the rest of our team are anonymous. But I want you to know exactly what your money went to. And for the technology things, I'll find a way around it. But again, this is all based on trust. You have to trust us that we're really there on your behalf, and that we're spending every penny that we get on the cause it was intended for. So we're going to be completely transparent about that. And again, as we're moving forward, and we're going to be doing more events for both security and intelligence services, we're going to continue raising money. The link is still up at 1apraetorian.com. There's a donate button on the landing page once the Praetorians show up. You'll see, it's pretty cool. I was really impressed. Once the Praetorians show up, the donate link does. Again, the website's going to be built out pretty significantly in the very near future. The crowdfunding platform we use is going to change. But for now, all of that is still accessible, and it can help put money towards our travel for future events, other technology that we need to add a more robust technology solution to what we're doing. We will begin to show you as much as we can. And again, we're going to be sharing intelligence with you. We have a full team of people with an impressive set of resumes. I'm telling you, I was blown away by both the patriotism from people that responded to my initial calls for volunteers, and also just the level and the stature of people that stood up and were willing to join us in this fight. It really is amazing. Unfortunately, the current environment, we need to keep our men and women's identities as safe as possible. But I will tell you, if you have any trust for me, they're pretty impressive. I would, again, if you are on the other side of this and you're one of these professional agitators, Marxists, subversives, unless you want to spend your life in federal prison, I would stay away from the events that we're at, covering either for intelligence or for security, because you will show up on one of our cameras. I promise you that. If you step foot anywhere near any of the events that we do, you will end up on our cameras. And if you do end up on our cameras and you do anything illegal, you're going to be put on blast. And it's not just to the world, it's going to be to federal law enforcement. We've decentralized the entire group, so it does not matter if I get taken down, if I'm no longer in the picture. We've set up teams now. It's too late. We've decentralized, just like special forces. We've decentralized our planning. We've decentralized our operations, our leadership. Everything about our structure is completely decentralized. You cannot stop us at this point just by trying to take out a member or 2 or 5 or 10. Because now, after this weekend, everybody knows what we're doing, how it works. And again, these are professionals with 10, 20, 30, 40 years of experience in their respective backgrounds. So now that we've all done it once, it's too late. You can take me out if you want, but it doesn't matter, because the movement will go forward, the cause will go on. We will continue defending the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, as long as we need to. Hopefully that won't go too much longer, too much past the election in November, but you never know. A lot of our men and women are very worried that it will. But again, we're growing every day. The people that are on this team are phenomenal. I told somebody early on, and I can't remember where it was, but in the beginning of this movement, that an ODA is 12 Green Berets. And theoretically, a team of Green Berets is trained, equipped, and operates under the belief and knowledge that one ODA of 12 Green Berets can take down an entire nation because we're force multipliers. We have many multiples of that one ODA right now on our team, and we're growing every day. And again, we're decentralized at this point by professionals. So there's nothing you could do to stop it. Except stop trying to ruin people's events. That's the only thing we're there for. So if you guys want to stop destroying people's events and stop being fascists who are trying to silence dissenting voices and trying to stop people from voicing their opinion and their First Amendment protected rights, then we'll go away. That's our entire purpose, is to protect those God-given rights and Constitution enshrined rights. That, for now, is the only way to get rid of us. So again, I want to say thank you to everybody who's already crowdfunded, who's already donated. There is plenty of work left to do, but now hopefully more of you have seen that we really are who we say we are. We are doing what we say we're doing. We have a successful event under our repertoire now, and they tried, again, watch Conscious Abe's show, or I believe it was on Fox News. I know it was on Newsmax and some other shows. Just look up the Walkaway event in DC, and you'll see they tried. They actually, again, we have some very experienced military intelligence and law enforcement people, and they tried some pretty substantial attacks and tactics at this event. But again, you're dealing with people that have decades of experience. Like, you're not showing us anything new. We know what you're doing. As soon as you walk up, we pinpointed the organizer within 10 minutes of him being there. And he's going through our database right now. We pinpointed a lot of the agitators. We pinpointed the people who tried dressing up in MAGA gear and causing trouble so it could be blamed on Trump supporters. We pinpointed all the spotters who were trying to get a picture of our security so they knew where to tell their friends to go. But that's why we have roving security, and that's why we have cameras everywhere, so we can see you the second you start trying to do that. The only way to win from this point is just to stay home. And that's what I would suggest. Everybody wins. You guys say you hate fascists so much. Stop trying to silence dissenting voices, because that is fascist. So again, thank you to everybody who donated. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. The mission goes forward. We do have a lot of gear. There's still more that we need to buy. There is still more travel. Each event, again, our people are spread throughout the country, so each individual event will need funds to help, rent our transportation, get there, food, lodging, everything else. But thankfully, we have a lot of the gear now. So if this is something, a cause that you feel like you would like to support, again, go to 1apraetorian.com and click the donate link after the Praetorians show up. You'll like the website. It's pretty cool. I do. So again, thank you very much. We're taking our country back one event at a time, and we're going to make events safe again. Deo et Patria, for God and country.